What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I want to focus in on. I've done already, I think, two pieces this season on this, and I'll probably continue to do pieces on it as long as the players in the deal are playing. But looking back at the Tyler Seguin trade, Seguin right now I believe is fourth or fifth in the NHL in scoring, was pulling up, and is really lighting things up for the Dallas Stars as they sit 1 point out of a playoff spot with a game at hand on the Phoenix Coyotes. He has is fifth in the league in scoring, behind none other than Phil the Thrill Kessel. Yeah, that's kind of a small world, and he's got better plus minus than Kessel, and more goals in the power play. And, we'll get to that in a second. But the bottom line is, you look at how great the Bruins are playing. Would they be where they are if they kept Seguin? And I think so. I think you can't argue how good he is. I mean, I don't think he'd be putting up the numbers he is right now, because the Bruins are such a deep team. But I mean, he'd be on that line of Bergeron and Marchand, and I think he would have put the demons of last year's playoffs behind him and had a productive year with the Bruins. I mean, I think this is a kid who had 69 points as a 19-year-old second player in the league. So he had gotten it done in Boston before. So to completely throw him under the bus and say, he would have not been as successful in Dallas as he's in Boston would be, or the other way around, not be successful in Boston as he's in Dallas would be, naive. But, the Bruins really can't complain. I mean, I know Ericsson's been banged up, but, he's been effective. Riley Smith has had a very good year, and I think the defenseman Morrow will be an NHLer in due time. So I think it's still on the mantra of it's a win-win. That's the mindset I have looking at it. I think Seguin has given the Dallas Stars, no pun intended, star power that they lacked since Madonna retired, and even Brandon Margot was not really a superstar. He wasn't a transition. This big guy you could really market around. Because he played a real straight-ahead game. He never put up the numbers Seguin and before him Madonna did. So that's one thing to look at. And when you're in a non-traditional market, you really need someone to build your brand around. And I have a guy like Seguin that's flashy, very very awesome player to watch is good. And again, for the Bruins, can't complain. I know I said earlier in the year the Bruins won this trade going away, but yeah, I think you got to look at the big picture and say, well, Seguin's fifth in the NHL in scoring, so to just completely discredit everything he's done with Dallas is stupid. But I think both teams make the trade again. I mean, that's sincerely because I think Seguin's a big reason Dallas has been as good as they've been, as they're knocking on the playoff door, and I think they very well can overtake Phoenix, especially with the Mike Smith injury. And the Bruins have forward depth that, helps them out. And obviously the other part of the trade is Rich Peverley. No one anticipated him having the heart problems he had. Again, I wish Peverley nothing but the best. Wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he gets back on the ice next year. And if not, he gets to live a normal and healthy life because that's far more important than what you do on the ice. But and even trading Peverley gave the Bruins cap room. Dumping off those two contracts, not necessarily dumping off the Seguin contract, but I think he was going to make six. I think his cap hits like $6 million. So 5 or 6. So then you move Peverley's deal as well. So that gave you a little more cap room, and they were able to sign a Ginla. We've seen what a Ginla's been able to do. So bottom line, good for the Bruins, good for Dallas. You can't spin it one way or the other. And I know there are people that have their opinions both ways, but I think when you look at it, both teams have done okay. Plain and simple. Anyway, that's our episode of the Power Play with CJ on looking back on the Seguin to Dallas trade. So more episodes through the season and beyond. Later, guys.